and welcome to Auto Arcadia. I am one of your hosts, Thomas, and with me, as always, is my other host.
Colin Wood, how you doing, Tom?
Yeah, good. I've chilled out from earlier because DIY makes me angry.
Fair enough. Well,
How?
I've had an angry day as well.
Do you want to talk about
Yeah, I've got a public service announcement for Police Scotland. They can go fuck themselves.
it?
Them and their safety camera partnership. They can all go and fornicate with an iron stick.
Do you know where you got done?
I do on the Kirkpatrick Fleming bypass flyover on the M74.
Oh, actually, on the M74.
On the M74.
Do you,
88 miles an hour in the fast lane, which isn't speeding. I mean, if anything, I should have been done for being doing 2 miles an hour under the minimum speed limit for the fucking fast lane, you know? Um, yeah, it's disgusting.
it sucks. That
Do you
absolutely
know
sucks.
the mad thing is, I wouldn't actually mind if they didn't lie through their fucking teeth on the letter. Because it's like putting your safety first. It's like, this is not safety. I was doing 88 miles an hour in the dry on a straight road with everything traveling in the same direction and big steel barriers protecting me from stuff going in the opposite direction. This is revenue generation, you fucking horrible cunts. If it
Was
was
it during the
safety,
day?
yeah, if it was safety, they'd have been sat outside of school, not on a fucking flyover where you can't hurt anyone.
They do
You
like
know?
sitting on those flyovers. Which one's Kirkpatrick? Is it 19?
Yeah, I think it is. It's not far away from Gretna. Yeah, it's
Or
like
maybe it's
just
20
before Gretna
actually.
Services, so it might be 20
Yeah,
now that you
20.
mentioned that.
Aye, they
But
do. They
yeah,
love sitting up there.
those fuckers. Um, yeah, no, this is why I used to run with no front number plate when I was a silly youngster. So it was. But anyway, I believe we've got stuff to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we actually have a subject.
And what is that subject? Does it by any chance hail from the land of IKEA and fantastic meatballs?
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the Swede Speed.
Swede Speed and Turbo Bricks. I love it.
I have a bit
So
of a soft spot for fast bricks.
I was just about to say that, man. Like, see, researching this, like, I was like, fucking hell, I think I'm a Saab man.
I mean, do you know what's weird? Is Saabs are starting ever so slightly to creep up in value. Do you remember
Well,
when like no one wanted a Saab just after they'd gone bankrupt? There was like, 9.5s. You could just get them for like a grand or less.
yeah, we're like 1,000 miles on them. They weren't even running, and you could pick them up for less than a fucking like a couple of bags of sand. It was fucking crazy.
It is kind of wild how no one wanted them.
And you know, right? Even now that they're starting to pick up, they're such phenomenal value.
They're still good value. I agree.
Oh yeah. Like, do you know, right? One of the things that I found out when I was researching this, Saab 95 Aero, the 2.3 turbo one,
Mm-hmm.
faster in gear acceleration than a contemporary Porsche 911. I shit you not. Like, it goes from 40 to 90 on a roll faster than a 911 does.
Is that not just turbo though?
That's just pure turbo power.
Yeah, but would like most turbo cars not kind of do the same thing? It's like the 911. I mean, the 911's always going to suffer because it's naturally aspirated.
No, no, the 911 turbo I'm talking about.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay.
Like legitimate fucking insane mid-range clout. Like the speed level is fucking incredible for what you're paying. Like you can get one of these for like 1,500 quid. In fact, the other week there was one that had like stage three, which was like 300 brake horsepower, but that went for 1,700 quid on eBay. Like these things are phenomenal value
Yeah, that's like nothing money in it.
for like genuine 300 brake.
Yeah.
That's good going. um, yeah, man, like it was fucking cool. I was like, holy shit, that's incredible. Um, but yeah, I know, like you say, I definitely have a soft spot for a Saab and a Volvo. They're cool.
Totally. Although I do have like unhappy memories from my time of Volvo ownership. I wouldn't say it was a particularly interesting Volvo I owned. It's not the
No,
Volvos we're going to be talking about today.
definitely not. I think if you had a V70R, your outlook would be substantially different.
Yeah.
Or a 242 turbo, like the original Group A homologation one.
Yeah, I really like the 240 and the 242.
They're stunning.
Mm-hmm.
That's like fucking sexual
They're
car
absolute.
design.
Yeah, I mean they're absolute classics.
Well, will we kick off?
Please do. I am keen to learn.
So we'll hit Saab first, right? So anyone who can speak Swedish or any of the Nordic languages, I fucking apologize for my pronunciation in advance. But Saab, right? They started in like 1937. They were the Svenska Aeroplan Aktiebolaget. So they were. Um, and they made military aircraft, which is why they're fucking jet mad. Like, can you remember the Saab 9-3 advert that was on the telly?
Is that yeah?
And
I
it was
do. Yeah.
and it was the fucking Saab Viggen jet
Mm-hmm.
chasing this fucking Saab 9-3 cabriolet along the road. It was so fucking insane. It's class. Um, but like a lot of like what Saab's cars were like influenced by was like the Cold War jets, you know. So
Right.
the big ones were the Draken and the Viggen. And like one of the 9-3s even had the same nameplate as the Viggen, which is Swedish for thunder or lightning, I believe. Um, but
Oh
like,
right. Okay. I didn't know that.
yeah, it's cool. Like, and a
It's a
lot of the
fast name.
are very fascinating. Do you know, like, now that you know what Viggen means, it's cool as fuck. The only thing that's cooler than that is like a Jensen Interceptor, which that is one of the coolest names for a car ever.
Aye, it's quite a good name. Yeah, I'll grant you that.
Um,
Interceptor is a very aggressive name for a car.
it is. It's fucking cool. Like, um, yeah. Like the Jets kind of like you can tell they were an airplane company before they were a car company. Like, so all Saabs have this button called Night Panel,
Okay.
and it shuts all the lights on the dash off, apart from the speed limits, the speed indications between 50 and 80 or 50 and 70. So that when you're driving on the motorway at night, you hit Night Panel, and it switches all the lights off and all the unnecessary shit. And it only lights up the speedo and the needle so that you can see what you're doing, and it's to reduce eye fatigue.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I quite like that, yeah.
It's a good idea,
Yeah, I
like,
quite like that.
um, and like the the key being down on the center console, that's like an aircraft thing as well. Like a lot of the ergonomics and like the wraparound dash that they do, and even the windows, like the wraparound glass, it's all
It's very fighter jet.
yeah, man, it's all from there. So it is. Um, a bit more about Saab though. So the Saab as we know it was founded in 1945 by the manufacturer that I murdered before with my pronunciation. And it became Saab AB, and it was to diversify post Second World War. And they made their first car, the Saab 92, in 1949.
Was 92 rear engined and air cooled?
No, so it was very, very aerodynamic for the time. It was front wheel drive and about as quirky as Saabs were ever since and remain to be.
A little weird
um,
car.
but like front wheel drive in 1949, That's like
It's very early, yeah.
that's cutting edge, man. Like that's so fucking early for it to be front wheel drive.
Of course, I'm looking at a picture of the Saab 92. Yes, it had very, very close together headlights.
Yes, it looked a bit gawky.
It does. It does look a little bit. I mean, it's very. It's got a very distinct aesthetic, especially of the time. But yeah, there's something just a little bit like, I don't know, goobery about it.
Yes, it definitely had a look. We'll say.
Yeah.
Um,
Saab kind of kept up with that slightly goobery look.
they did. They kind of, like they didn't really move away from it at all. Um, and you know, they definitely had their design language. Like you look at a Saab and you're like, that's a fucking Saab. There's no, you don't like look at a Saab and be like, it's probably badge engineered. Well, some of the later ones you do. Like a 9.2 is just an Impreza with a different badge. Um, but yeah, like some of them were a bit crazy. The later ones were just GM pish. But yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. So was it a
um,
two-stroke? Oh, two-stroke inline two.
yeah, like there's nothing about this that was like conventional
To be fair
at
though,
all.
right, that two-stroke had 25 horsepower according to the wiki, which is kind of quite a bit.
Yeah, like for a fucking 750cc engine of that era
Yeah, it's not bad.
and a drag coefficient of 0.3, we only beat that with a mainstream car in like 2017 with the Audi A4, which was a 0.29.
This is weird,
Like,
right? Because a lot of cars from this era had weirdly low drag coefficients. It's when they
yeah,
like first worked out wind tunnel testing, and they were like, right, let's suppress it as far as possible. Because is it a Talbot that's got the, or a Tatra that's got the, I think it's a Tatra.
oh fuck, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
I want to
I
say potentially the 97 or the 77.
I don't know. It could be fucking anything, bud. Like I'm not really clued up on Talbot. Like old
Tatra. You don't
Patra.
know your Czech like kind of dead car manufacturers.
No, like British and Soviet Eastern Bloc car manufacturers are not my forte, I'm afraid.
Fair. Honestly, absolutely fair. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a Tatra had quite a low drag coefficient as well.
Fair enough, man.
I don't think it was as low as point 0.3 though. That's quite impressive.
That is low, like that's fucking low, low. Yeah. So there's an elephant in the room when we're talking about Saab though. Um, and that is buyovers and mergers.
Mm.
So they had quite a checkered history. So do you know Scania?
Yeah, absolutely. Another Swedish vehicle manufacturer.
Yeah, so Scania Vabis bought Saab AB in 1968 and they formed Saab Scania.
Wow.
They're imaginative with their names.
Very imaginative.
So that was not bad though. Like they made some really cool stuff, you know. Like after that, you're talking like the Saab 99 Turbo, which one of the first
Hmm.
mass-produced turbo cars. Like fucking cool as fuck.
Yes, that's an incredibly cool car. The 99, very, very cool. And
Like
the 9000 as well.
yeah, well it was the 99, then the 900 in 78 to 98, and that was like the cockpit dash, turbos everywhere, wraparound windscreen. Like that was like when they really hit their stride with like their actual on brand designing. And then there was the 9000, which I believe was co-developed with Fiat, Lancia, and Alfa Romeo. which is such an off the wall fucking like
Yeah. Honestly,
comment.
I love when you find out a car that's been developed by totally random companies. Like, is another Vauxhall Severe that's designed by Porsche?
Ah, fuck. I can't. I don't know if the Zafira was, but like the the Subaru Legacy had like a Porsche special edition that like Porsche came and done like bodywork for it and everything else. Like Porsche do a lot of fucking design house work.
Yeah, because they've historically in the past been broke as fuck all of the time. They've
Yeah,
needed the work.
and then there was the first of the like. Well, I don't know if it was the first of right because this would have been in design in the 80s to be out for 99 2000. So the GM bought them in the 90s, in
Mm.
1990 actually. But we'll get back to that because one of the other really cool ones they did was the Saab 93 Viggen, which was like Evo actually were like it's one of the worst cars we've ever reviewed because of the torque steer.
Mm.
It's like that's incredible. I want one. But the GM bit is when it got really bad. So like I absolutely love the story of Saab from this point on because like they kept giving them like cars like so they were like here's the Vectra, it's a good car. No, it's not. But GM were like this is the Vectra, just make it a Saab and sell it. And then they came back like 6 months later and they're like where's the new car model, and they're like it's in research and development because the Vectra is shit and we're redesigning 90% of the parts. And GM were like, no, you can't fucking do this. Just put your badges on it and sell it. We need to make money. And Saab were like, no.
I
So
mean,
then,
fair enough, because the Vectra was not a good platform.
no, it wasn't. And like people give them loads of shit about like how like the 9.3 is just a Vectra. It's not. Like there's less shared parts than there is like similarities. And then like the Insignia came out, and GM were like, here's the Insignia. It's it'll do fine. Just put your badges on it and sell it. And Saab were like, nope. They were like,
That
fuck that
became
shit.
a 9.5, didn't it?
Yes, it did. And Saab were like, nope, fuck that shit. So they took the sat nav and spent like 6 million quid redeveloping it because it worked better after that. And that was like applied to the whole fucking car. Like the whole thing was like just redevelop everything because GM's products are shit and our products are not shit. It's like the engines that Saab made were fucking fantastic, you know, like the 2 liter and the B 204 and 205 and the B 2, 3, 4 and 5 like they were fucking tanks of engines. And GM actually robbed them to make their Ecotech engines, and the Ecotech engines were an absolute pile of shit. So that's like that shows you the engineering scale here. Like when GM took Saab's engine, which was an absolute machine, and further refined it in air quotes to make the Ecotech engine, which was an absolute pile of dog shit. And I know because I've fucking worked on them.
Did you see many Saps when you worked in the motor trade?
Yeah, man, I loved them. I thought they were class. Like, there was the occasional like 9,000 that came in. I was not keen of those because they were always rusty as fuck. But like not like body rusty though. It was like fixings were rusty, and it was a bit of a pain in the ass to get everything stripped off and stuff. And like
Aye.
the Fiat Lancia Alfa Romeo input is clear when you're working on one. But like, see, working on like a 9.3 and stuff, I didn't find them too bad. I thought they were fucking decent. Like, I would rather work on one of them than a fucking Audi.
Mm. Yeah, I
Um,
do know. I know your feelings on working on nowadays, 100%. I mean,
yeah,
one thing I will say is, like, Saab took the GM products and did make them look a lot better than the GM product. Like, would you rather have a
and
9.3 or a Vectra?
oh yeah, you're wanting a 9.3 every day.
I mean,
And like,
I don't really like the 9.5, the second gen 9.5 that was clearly an Insignia. I don't think that was a particularly good looking car.
no, but see the first gen, how they had they had the facelift where it came with the chrome lenses round the headlights. I think they look class. Like, see, you
Oh
get one of
yeah,
them,
I do totally
s-
know what you mean. I.
spray that chrome black. Oh, oh, fucking oh. Like, yes, you're talking now. Um, but back to GM, right? Because GM sold um Saab to Spiker in 2010, which is a death knell for anyone
I totally
into
forgot
cars.
Spiker bought a Saab. Oh, I completely forgot about this.
But here's the thing, GM were not done fucking over Saab after this, right? So Spiker got into a lot of difficulty. There's like a massive saga here, and I may not tell it 100% correctly, but if you want to know more, go and look on fucking wiki for yourself, dear listeners. Um, so Spiker were like, fuck, we're struggling. We're gonna bring a Chinese company in. And GM were like, no, we're not releasing any of the licenses. We're not releasing anything at all if there's any Chinese companies involved at all. It's just not fucking happening. So Spiker like came up with this genius, I suppose, plan where they had a Chinese company that were going to back them, and they would get shares in Spiker and get the profit that way. So it was like backwards. So they didn't have a direct share in Saab to keep GM happy, but they were basically going to profit share off of Spiker's end. And GM caught wind of this and was like, nope, fuck that. There's Chinese companies involved. We're not releasing anything at all. And then they went bankrupt. And it was like there was like 4 or 5 different opportunities to keep Saab going, but because GM's an American company and it involved Chinese consortiums, they were just like, nope, fuck that. We're not entertaining it, because GM kept quite a serious stake in the business even after selling it to Spiker.
I
So
honestly
they,
remember when this was happening. You know, all of this bullshit. Because, like,
yeah,
the internet was, like, definitely around. There was loads of car news websites covering this. Covering the rescue package of Saab, if you know what I mean. Like, how they were trying to make it all work.
yeah, man. Because like there was a massive push um to like try and get them going. And there was actually lawsuits came out of it as well. But so this is how fuck this will give you an idea of how shitty it was, right? So in 2012, Spiker sued. Well, they didn't sue. They filed a lawsuit against General Motors in the United States because they're a US company, right? So it was like the district court of the Eastern District of Michigan was where they filed, because that's where General Motors was based.
Mm-hmm.
And they filed for claiming damages of $3 billion, which
Was Trump
actually,
in charge of this lawsuit? This is exactly the
well,
kind of bullshit he pulls.
well, no, but it's actually not far away, because like, like the thing was like the Swedish government and the European Investment Bank gave fucking money to to help Spiker.
Yeah.
And it was something like fucking 320 million, and that only kept the lights on for like fucking a couple of weeks. Like that didn't do a lot. Like because of the fucking bullshit that GM managed to do to it, they like fucked it up so badly that there was so much to pay and there was so much overheads that it was like fucking the hundreds of millions were just vanishing.
Oh.
Like when Saab actually went bankrupt in 2012, the official receivers in charge of Saab liquidation valued the assets at 500 million and the debt at 2,000 million
Oh, so
US dollars.
yeah, okay, so 2 billion.
Yeah.
That's
Why the fuck is it written like that? 2,000 million. Yeah.
yeah, it's quite an obtuse way of writing it.
But it left like 1.5 billion in terms of debt after the assets. Like the amount of shit that was there was fucking unbelievable, and it was all from kind of accrued under the GM pilot. So they sued for they filed for like 3 billion against GM, and basically the American court just went, GM's an American company, they're innocent. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, it was like the claim was dismissed in 2013. Basically, the ruling was that General Motors was within its rights to block the sale, but like they were blocking the sale because it was a Chinese consortium, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So like there was no way an American court was ever not going to fucking go through with it. Like they
yeah,
were always
yeah.
going to find in the side of GM.
I
Like
mean,
that might be,
GM's very, very important for America. Very important to Michigan.
yeah. I mean it's shit, but it's very important.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
they might make really shit cars, but they still make them.
yeah, that's it. And they're immensely fucking profitable as well, which is a sadness, but you know. But yeah, so like, but like a big thing with Saab, like they were ahead of their time in a lot of stuff, you know. So
Yeah,
like,
I think a big
I've
thing to
got
talk about with the Swedish car manufacturers is they were very into safety.
they were. Um, so I've, in fact, actually, do you know what? We're gonna reverse a little bit here because I've got a little bit done on like divine design ethos and design language.
All right, yeah, yeah, sure.
But we'll cover the other big boy in the room, which is Vovlov. Now, I know you had a Vovlov and you weren't the
Mm,
biggest fan of the Vovlov, but they've made some cool fucking cars.
yeah, I mean the one I owned was like the Ford ownership era,
Do
which
you know?
much like the GM ownership era is probably not my favorite, you know, parent of Volvo.
I was just gonna say, see any moment in time where a Swedish brand has been owned by an American brand, they kind of fuck it up.
Yeah, it's all gone to shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally agree. Totally
Um.
agree.
Aye, it's not cool. So, Volvo, fucking ancient company, by the way. They're currently they're 2 years old, 2 years away from being 100 year old.
All right, yeah, okay, fair enough. Not
Um,
the oldest
so
automaker out there, but definitely been going for a while.
oh, definitely. Like so, they were founded in 1927, in Gothenburg by Assar Gabrielson and Gustaf Larsson, and it was originally a subsidiary of SKF, which is the ball bearing company, which
We've
is
decided to diversify our products from ball bearings to cars.
yeah. I mean, based on the fact that they're still going, more successful than diversifying from aeroplanes to cars.
Do you know what? I can't argue with that. That's true.
I feel bad making a joke at Saab's expense, man. I fucking love Saab. They're class.
I know it's gotten like I felt worse about Saab folding than I did about Rover going.
Yeah, like Rover kind of fucking had coming what they meant, what they needed.
Yeah,
Um,
like Rovers are a bit shit, and that is speaking from someone who does actually quite like some Rovers.
yeah, like I'd love an MG, like the equivalent of the Rover 25, ZT was it ZS? I can't remember, but like genuine class little car
Yeah, aye. When they work.
when they work. Yes, uh, we'll gloss over that bit. um, so the first car they made was the Volvo OV4, otherwise known as the Jakob, which English speakers will say that's Jacob. but it's not because it's Swedish, so it's pronounced Jakob. And it was like fucking built for like Swedish winters on Swedish roads, like, and they were really quite safety conscious, like early on. They were one of the first brands with like laminated windscreens and 3-point seatbelts. Like they kind of led the way.
I knew about the
with
3-point
that.
seatbelts, but I did not know about laminated windscreens. That's really
Yeah,
interesting.
that is really. Did you know, like laminated windscreens are actually like properly underrated as like a safety thing. Like I've tried to break a laminated windscreen. Now I'm not a fucking small gentleman. Um, and like when you see them kick out a laminated windscreen in the films,
Yeah.
not not that fucking easy. Like I've been in a scrapyard and I was like, Ken, what, this car's got a fucked windscreen. I want to see how easy it is to kick this out. It's not as easy. Like you're not doing it in one kick, like what fucking the little midget Tom Cruise does.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
Like that man can do many things. He can keep people in cages as his weird church demands. He can have a P-51 Mustang for his jollies because he's loaded, but he can't kick out a fucking laminated windscreen in one kick. We might get sued for that last bit.
I don't think so.
Nah, probably not. But yeah, like he can't kick out a laminated windscreen. Like they're actually solid. It's really cool. Have you ever broke one on purpose actually?
I've not broken one on purpose.
See, you ever get the chance, like just old fucked car that's like the interior's all burnt out and everything, and it's totally fucked, and you're in a scrapyard with it. Like, just get some and batter the windscreen. Like, have a go at it. It's such a weird way that it like breaks and cracks because it totally shatters, but then stays still.
Yeah, yeah.
It is really cool. Anyway, I digress. So, some iconic models. So there was almost like a Volvo version of the Beetle.
No way.
Yeah, like post-war prosperity symbol, like the people's car, the little Volvo. The PV Treble 4, it was built in 1944, which it's a bit maybe presumptuous to say post-war because the war was still going a little bit, but it is what it is.
Oh, it's very
And
pretty.
yeah, they're cool cars. Like
Oh,
this
I
is
would
the
take
thing.
that over the Beetle any day. I am not a fan of how the Beetle looks.
No, the Beetle doesn't look cool. The Beetle did spawn Porsche, which is cool, but this is so much nicer than a Beetle.
This is it's got a very kind of American style, I think.
Well, if you like that, Tom, my next one, the Volvo Amazon, or
Oh, I
the
mean, the Amazon's an absolute classic.
or the 122S.
I mean, the Amazon, what a car! Like, yeah, Volvo have penned some really nice design, or they've created some really nice looking cars. The Amazon's right up there.
Oh yeah, like that's a nice fucking design. One of the first cars to introduce seatbelts as standard,
Fair play.
and also had um, quite the rally fucking, what do you call it, career under its belt.
Was it successful?
Yeah,
Because I know
like
Saab were really big into rally as well, quite early on.
they were, like the 99 and the 900 were quite popular, so they were.
I mean,
But
it's
when we're
probably not too surprising that both, like, the two Swedish car manufacturers were heavily involved in rally. Like, it doesn't take you that long in Sweden, that much driving to get onto a road which is essentially a rally stage.
That's very true. They are cool, man. But you know what? We can't talk about rallying without mentioning the next Volvo on my iconic Volvos list,
Oh, and that would be?
the 240 Turbo, or more accurately, the 242 Turbo Coupe. Now
Mm,
this, I think, is possibly on par with the Amazon for being absolutely jaw-droppingly pretty for what it is.
It's
Like,
such yeah. It's weird how like essentially square with square on top could look really really good.
yeah, like there's just something about it, and it's like that fucking just works, man. Like, yes, I like that.
I think it's also worth mentioning the P1800 though, because that's also a very very pretty Volvo.
Yes, it is. Like, that's a cool machine. Like, that's fucking incredible. You know, there's honestly there's so many nice Volvos, and you know the one thing that I love about these, right? They're fucking rear wheel drive.
Yes, I also enjoy that.
Like, that is fan fucking tastic. You know.
Yeah, Volvos were
Um,
rear wheel drive for like quite a long time. It
they
was
were.
actually when Premier Automotive Group kind of took them over that they started becoming front wheel
Front wheel
drive or all
drive.
wheel
Yeah.
drive.
Well, the next one on our list is one of the first front wheel drive ones, which was the 850 Estate, which was like the BTCC legend. Like,
Of course, yeah, totally. I forgot about that.
but then it kind of pulls like a bit of a fucking double take on you because they kind of drop the front wheel drive almost as quickly. Because then after the 850, it was the V and the S. Like they went on to V for estates and S for saloons, you know?
Yep.
So then you had the S60R and the V70R, which were all-wheel drive, 300 brake horsepower, active chassis management. Like, I think calling them a sports car might be a bit rich,
Yeah, maybe a
but
little bit far.
a very, very competent Grand Tourer, like a GT car, absolutely. I mean, active chassis management, all-wheel drive, and 300 horsepower in between 2003 and 2007, that's something fucking else. You know, that era of Ferrari was only 450 brake horse,
True.
if that even. In fact, I think the 430 was even less than that.
Yeah, we're so totally spoiled by like the power figures that are kind of commonplace now.
Yeah. And then after this, my personal favorite fast Volvo occurs, which is the S60 and the V60R, or not the R, sorry, the Polestar, which was the T8, I believe. It was either they came with a 3 liter twin turbo straight six, or a 2 liter twin charged four cylinder, which is turbo and supercharger with all wheel drive.
Yeah, that's pretty rare, isn't it?
Yeah, like honestly, man, I love the Swede Speed attitude to like just bolt a turbo on, give it boost.
Yeah, you're a big turbo man.
I am.
I feel like
Um,
the Polestar Volvos don't excite me as much.
no,
No, I'm not for sure. Cool,
like
but I think if I was gonna go for something that's like that kind of car, I'd pick something else. Not necessarily a Polestar.
so. See if I was gonna do it right. This is what I would have. So I would buy an S. Is it an S80? Yeah, an S80 saloon, right?
Mm-hmm. They were the massive ones.
They're the massive ones. And you know what I would do? I would buy the one with the 3 liter straight six in it. And then I would buy either a 240 or a saloon or a 242 coupe or an Amazon or possibly a P1800. And I would get the rear wheel drive gearbox that matches up to the 3 liter straight six twin turbo engine, and I would fucking fit that into the classic body, and I think that would be fucking amazing.
It would certainly be quick.
It would be unbelievably cool.
You'd be going places in that.
Oh yeah. Do you know what, man? I think you know how we were talking before, how like Beck says I need to get a car that I like to like get me excited about working on cars again.
Mm-hmm.
I think a 240 saloon could be the way forward. You know?
Yeah, oh no, I mean that's a incredibly cool choice.
Yeah. Anyway, that's by the by. So yeah, man, I think it's safe to say we're both a massive fan of Swedish turbo bricks. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I think like all kind of manufacturers, like Saab and Volvo do have a lot of dross. Like there's a lot of uninteresting stuff there, but they do a certain thing quite well, and that's the turbo brick.
Yeah. But you know, I will agree the Volvo stuff because like you get like a V70 which has like a 2 liter fucking front wheel drive engine non-turbo. It's like wow, this is fucking dire. Like why would you put a car this size with an engine that small, you know?
Yeah, I mean
But the Saab one,
you could spec like S40s with a 1.6 petrol.
yeah, it's insane. Like why, well that's a Ford thing that because they were built
Mm,
on a fucking Focus chassis, weren't they?
yeah, that is a
Um,
Ford thing.
but like Saab at least, you know, the 9.3, you could get them with a 1.8 in them, but every single engine was turboed.
Mm.
So like even the 1.8 wasn't terrible. At least it made swishy unicorn noises, you know?
At least it made some power.
Yeah, and it had a bit of mid-range and like you could overtake with them and stuff. One thing I have to say though, about Volvo is they love a five-cylinder engine as well.
Yeah, yeah. That's a shame. Like I've never had a Volvo 5 cylinder. That would be pretty cool.
See the naturally aspirated ones, they're slow as fuck, but they sound amazing. Like, I remember there was a V70 came into work one day, and it was just for service and stuff, and I took it for a road test, and I was like, this is going to be shit. And I was genuinely surprised at how peppy it was, but the thing that really surprised me was how fucking amazing it sounded.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, man, like, no, I think it's safe to say we're both pretty big Swedish car fans, you know.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, in general, I actually don't hate the way Volvo or Saab design their cars. I think they look all right.
Yeah, like they're never a bad looking machine. Like they're usually quite well proportioned.
Mm-hmm. And I like estates, so I've always liked Volvos because they've always offered you an estate. Although they did go through that kind of like sort of wobble where they released, what was it, the V40, which was like not really an
Yeah,
estate.
it was a bit of a laughable attempt.
Mm. And the C30 as well, which like at first I really like the way that car looks, but I don't think it's aged particularly well. And I remember, I think maybe a cousin of mine had one with the 2.5 in it.
Yes.
It was really sprightly, but he said that the car didn't have the dynamics to like really match the power it had. It was like shit brakes, shit feel, just fast.
Yeah.
And everyone
Like it
knows you buy an
needed.
Audi if you want that.
Well, very true. Yeah. I mean, if you want something numb and soulless, you can't really beat the fucking German superhouse as far as that's concerned.
That's Audi.
Do you know, it's funny actually that you started talking about the design, you know? Because I've got like a kind of design language and turbo Saab versus Volvo little bit.
Oh, interesting. I'd really like to hear that actually.
So it's all bullet pointed. So I'll rattle the bullet points off and then we'll see where we go from there, you know?
Okay.
This was like, my idea was to try and like foster the conversation. So like Saab, it's fucking aviation roots, aerospace heritage, like cockpit like interiors, wraparound windscreens, center console ignitions. They weren't gimmicks. They were like genuine ergonomic choices inspired by their aerospace designing. You know,
Yeah.
like they're genuine aviation sort of things. Um, Early designer Gunnar, oh, fucking hell, Youngstrom, I believe. I think the L at the start is silent. Youngstrom. Early design memos were like emphasizing low drag, low center of gravity, and like fully faired wheels. Which like that was in the 1940s, which was pretty radical for the time.
Mm.
Like
Yeah, it's interesting actually. That design language has come up again years and years later.
it has, like it was pretty forward thinking for the time, you know. Then turbos, man. So like it wasn't just like we'll have a performance model and stick a turbo on it. Like fucking everything had them. Like it was hard to get anything there that didn't have a turbo when it came to Saab. Like most of their models were fucking turboed. And then this is just like a little view into their design ethos. So they made their own engine management system, Trionic, right?
All right, didn't know that.
And it was a proprietary system that controlled ignition, fuel, and boost. And it was so fucking versatile. Like you could just it, so Subaru have done a really big thing, like with open source, like ECU Tech, or yeah, ECU Tech is the brand, and they do Flash reprogramming, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you don't need a standalone ECU. You just flag whatever. You just fucking flash your standard one to do what you want. Um, and Saab kind of had that first, like the Trionic. Sorry, I was going to say Tektronic, but it's Trionic. The Trionic management system was like almost open source. Flash it, do what you need to do. Like it was fucking incredible. Like the actual what they had for what it was, you know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Um, I'm just looking it up again just to basically see if I can get any because I thought I had more on this, but it would appear I don't. So they had like there was different versions of it. There's like T5, T7, T8, and there was different models, different codes. There was loads of different shit with it. But like T5, for example, featured like optional traction control and stuff like that. Then as you got forward, like 1994, you had TCS and ETC were optional. You had intake heat plates, so like a heat plate on the intake of the car, the manifold,
What was that
to
for?
heat the air up on a cold day.
Oh, okay.
Like really, really quite cool stuff. So like the earliest ones, which were like 93, 94, which was T 5.2 and 5.5, they had map sensors and intake temp sensors to calculate fuel injection curves, which is like that's fucking phenomenal. Like most people, like Ford were only just moving away from having fucking mechanical injection in 93, and these guys had what is the gold fucking standard now for your intake sensing, which is map sensor, manifold absolute pressure, and then air intake temperature. And then 98, and which was Tronic 7, and 2003, which is T8, they went to mass airflow type, which is the shit version of it. So like GM came in and immediately were like cost cutting mass airflow sensor instead of a map sensor. But I mean, so it's trionic. So tri being free, ion comes from the fact it uses an ion current measured by the spark plugs between combustion events, which acts as a sensor for knock, misfire, and synchronization detection.
Okay.
the ion current stream, which was developed with the ion sensing system due to combustion, can be deduced by monitoring the secondary current of the ignition coil, using the value in the wave shape of the current after the actual spark event. And the quality of the actual combustion process is then determined from that. So that's fucking in the early 90s that was happening.
Absolutely. Do you know what I find quite interesting?
What?
Is that the Saab have called their their various like kind of ECU technology T5 onwards,
Yeah,
but Volvo call quite a lot of their models like T4, T5,
yeah.
T6. Because for a moment, I genuinely forgot we were talking about Saab. It was like, wait, is this why they're called T something for Volvo? And I realized,
Oh,
oh, we're talking about different manufacturer. I get it's probably just a coincidence, but it is a confusing coincidence when we're talking about both of them.
yeah. Like it's crazy. Like I kind of got on a wee bit of a fucking mad Saab text binge there, but like it was to try and emphasize like fucking this is so advanced for like the time. You know, there was literally I can't think of any other at all manufacturer that was doing shit like that. Like even now, you have a piezoelectric microphone that bolts onto the side of your engine for sensing knock, and these guys were doing it off of the fucking secondary current in the coil.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wonder if there's any difference in like accuracy between those measures.
there probably will be, um, but I mean, I don't know if it would be enough.
Aye,
Do you know what,
not a
right?
meaningful level.
There will be a difference in accuracy, but for an OEM like Saab, who had a fucking 3 years, 36,000 mile warranty on their cars, it didn't worry them enough to fucking change the system for their warranty.
Yeah,
And if the knock is out on your car, you're going to melt a piston, which would be a pretty big fucking warranty claim.
quite a big warranty claim. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
The only other thing on Saab, their design philosophy was like four core beliefs. And it was design, safety, performance, and control. So it was like everything had to like feed back to those four things. That was kind of that was their design ethos, I
So
suppose you would go
it
with.
was design, safety, performance, and control.
Yeah,
I like how one of their design ethoses was just design.
yeah. But you know, right? There's that. I think a lot of companies could do to learn from that because there's so much. Like people are so like overtaken by designing something that they forget to actually think, is this design good? You know?
Do you think people design cars and then get towards the end of it and are like, oh, you see, when you take a step back, this is not okay?
I think they do, but I don't think anyone ever sorts it after that point. They're just like, ah, fuck it, send on, Sam. It's not me that's gonna have to deal with it. It's got to be some prick in a fucking garage somewhere.
I
Just
just
fucking
won't buy
fire it
one.
on. It's like there was an American video I watched, and it really tickled me. And it was an American mechanic, and he was trying to he like was trying to get a bolt out, and he could not get the fucking spanner onto it because the bolt head was so close to a part of the engine casing. And he's like trying to get the spanner on, and he just drops the spanner in size, and then all you hear is him going, you know, a GM engineer would run past 1,000 women just to fuck a mechanic.
Honestly, that is, it does surprise me how common it is being like, I can't access this bolt because of this piece or this or that, and I just think no one really thinks about the actual maintenance of cars.
No, they don't. Like the main priority with a car is to design it to be easy for a robot to put together to get the manufacturing costs down.
Yeah, absolutely. And who cares what happens to the car once it's been sold, once it's moved on beyond its first owner, who typically owns it for 3 years to 100,000 miles, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. But the other thing as well is if they make it really fucking difficult for people to do at home, people don't do it at home. They take it to a garage. So like they're looking at it like when the car's like maybe 4 to 6, maybe 7 year old, they're trying to get more return business to the dealerships. So they make it difficult to put people off doing it themselves. That's the whole ethos behind making them hard to work on.
Yeah, just keep us paying, eh?
That's it.
It's a real shame.
Little did they know there's a man called Colin who is quite happy to take a fucking angle grinder to the head of a bolt and deal with the fucking aftermath later. I've actually done that in the past, you know. Couldn't get a bolt out, so I cut the head off it. And my solution, this is absolute fucking fantastic. Like, nobody, I've never seen another one that's done it since. I can't even remember what fucking car it was on. But it was a bolt, and I couldn't get it out, so I cut the head off the bolt, and then just undone all the other bolts and pulled the fucking whole thing out. And I was like, so it comes out with that on there. So what I'll do is put a stud in there that's just long enough to get a nut on the end. So then I unbolted the bolt, Loctited a stud in, put it back on, and then tightened it up with a nut on. And you could get an open ender on the nut and just wind the end of the nut off. And then it would leave the stud and you just pull the fucking thing out. And I was like, that is the fucking best design modification I've ever made. Someday in like 5 years' time is going to have to replace that, and they're going to be singing my fucking praises because I did that. Somebody is going to love me that day. uh, but I digress.
So yeah, so Saab's design ethos, design, safety, performance, and control. What about the flip side of the coin? What about Volvo?
So Volvo, right? Again, I'll rattle the bullet points off. So it's safety first, you know. Volvo's kind of designs, there's like massive occupant protection, usually quite good visibility, which is something that they have in common with Saab. Like, pillars tend to be quite thin, really good visibility, and like you get the feeling that like they're fucking solid big cars, you know, or you do on the
you
older
do feel
ones
quite
at
cocooned
least.
in a Volvo.
They were engineered for like crash survivability and practicality. Like, they were safety orientated from the start.
Do you
And
remember
turbo.
the safety demonstration Volvo did for their auto braking technology?
No.
The one where the Volvo was like driving towards a truck and it was supposed to auto brake in front of
Right.
all of these automotive journalists, and it just didn't.
And it destroyed the truck.
No, it just drove straight. Yeah, it just drove straight into the back of the truck. It's quite a good video.
I'm gonna have to have a look for that, man. That sounds class.
Yeah, I mean,
um,
from a like personal experience, like I've actually been to the Volvo museum in Gothenburg.
really?
Yes, I was going from Copenhagen to Oslo, and stopped in Gothenburg for the night, and I thought, well, I'm here, I should really go to the Volvo museum. It's not even that bad to get to be honest. I mean, it's like out on a like an industrial estate, like kind of port area, I seem to remember. But like it's good. It's got a lot of interesting stuff. There's like there's the 850. There's like 242s. There's like the
Right.
early stuff. There's kind of like, you know, some of their later stuff. I think I went in. That's a good question. Maybe went in 2013 or something like that. 2013, 2014. So, you know, there wouldn't have been all that hybrid guff that'll be polluting the museum now. But it was really good.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the more interesting cars that I remember from it was, it was interesting because it was just strange, and I don't really remember it. And also, it was weird. It was a weird kind of like exercise, and it was like Volvo had like kind of teamed up with like a group of women designers to like design a car for women by women.
Right.
Well, like obviously there's nothing wrong with that, but like the way that it was kind of made was a bit weird, if you know what I mean. It had like what you'd look at now and think maybe is like slightly sexist kind of like design in it a little bit. You remember like how
Yeah.
Bic released that pink pen just for women, and everyone was like,
What the fuck is this?
everyone like
Yeah.
it's a fucking pen. It doesn't need to be gendered. Like it did have a little bit of an element of that to it. Plus, it was a concept car, and it came along with like all that usual concept car kind of like bullshit of like, oh, it's gonna have like a single piece curved glass dome roof, and it's gonna have like
Yeah.
a yoke for a steering wheel instead of like a wheel. Just like all that usual concept car nonsense and stuff like that. But just like the
Yeah, man.
approach of it, like I remember being like, I'm not sure that would fly anymore.
No, probably not. Like, I don't think you get away with that now.
Totally.
But I hope that they kept it though. I
Yeah, no,
hope
it's
that
still
it's
there.
in the museum,
It's still there.
because
Yeah.
you shouldn't get rid of stuff like that. But we're verging on running out into a very different topic of conversation there. Um, but yeah, no, that's cool, man. I'd love to go to that. It's the same as the Porsche Museum. I'd love to go to that, and as well the BMW one as well.
I actually legit really enjoyed it. It was totally worth like the tram and bus journey out of the centre to explore basically just to see the old cars. I was really really into it just for the old cars.
That could be a thing. I'm planning a trip to Sweden at some point because there's a Swedish band that I really want to see called Mustache.
All right.
They're fucking fantastic. The Swedish cars are good, but their metal and music is even better. Like, there's so many metal bands in Sweden and Norway and Finland. It's just crazy. And they don't tour outside of the Nordic block, so it's like I need to go there to see them, and that might be an idea to go and see the Volvo museum at the same time. That'd be quite cool.
I would honestly totally recommend. I wouldn't say like there's a great deal to do outside of the Volvo Museum in Gothenburg, but you know,
Yeah, you can't even get drunk because it's mega expensive.
I did have a really nice dinner there. To be fair, anyway, I'm getting really really digressing.
Fair enough.
It's not a travel
Um,
podcast.
yeah. Well, Volvo as well. Turbos. Like, the 240 is the one that sticks out to me here for Group A homologation. It was like the very first flying brick, you know?
Yeah.
And then from there, it's like turbos, but just with more. So, like, then you had the five-cylinder era. So, like, the 850 T5, which was like the iconic Volvo engine,
Hmm.
inline five-cylinder turbo, amazing sound.
We
And
can
then
talk
like,
about color for Volvo as well because Volvo were not afraid of yellow, which I really like.
oh
I,
no, like yellows, greens, gorgeous blues.
honestly, I quite like the burnt orange of like
I was
the
about to
V's.
say the orange was fucking gorgeous as well. Do you know the R, like the S60R came in this aqua blue. It was like a blue green. It was like a Caribbean sea color.
Oh right, yeah.
It was fucking gorgeous, man.
I really like
Um,
the color of my Volvo. It was a nice. It was like sky blue,
yeah, I really
which
liked the color of that.
yeah, I actually do. I think Volvo like do some decent colors. They do like decent car colors. Maybe not so much now because everything is grey or white or black, but they used to.
If you put in on Google S60R aqua color, you'll see it. It's fucking beautiful, man.
Oh yeah, of course. That's a really nice color.
It's so nice. It's fucking unbelievable. Um, but like that was the T5 introduced like the crazy colors. Well, actually, they've kind of always had them. Like the the fucking Amazons and stuff came in some pretty wild colors as well, especially for the time. Yeah, like there's something about it. It's like more than just white, silver, grey, black. Yay, fucking aye. Um, yeah, so like 850 T5 started it, and then like the R models pushed it further. adding all-wheel drive, active chassis systems, which that's cool as fuck. Like active chassis control, realistically, you only really get that on like hypercars now, and like some very, very niche vehicles. Like, the,
What exactly is it?
so active chassis is like actively increasing and decreasing suspension dampening based on inputs from like yaw sensors and G sensors and steering angle and everything like that. So like you're actively pumping one side of the suspension up and softening the other side to like reduce body roll or
I
to
get you.
increase grip. Like
Absolutely get you. Yeah. So it's like it's car dynamics rather than controlling like differential. It's like tilting. Well, no, firming up the car so it doesn't roll as much.
well, yes, but they even had like active management on the power like the center differential. So they were actively varying like the torque split front and rear and stuff like that. Like they're fucking really advanced. If you have a look on Wiki, actually, there's quite a lot on them.
It's really interesting
Um,
that both of them were like innovators in certain fields.
yeah, like they didn't fuck about. Like they've never really been scared of like pushing the fucking boundaries either, which I really like. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Volvo even the next like bullet points, their twin charging experiments. So like I think they were probably the first to market. Maybe not actually. I think Audi might have beat them with that TSI crap, but TSI engines were fucking shit, and the Volvo engines were really good. So that's the difference.
Are
Where they were
TSI's
like,
twin charged?
yeah, the original TSIs were, I think they were in like the Mark V Golf, and they came with like a 1.4 with like a tiny supercharger and a tiny turbo. But then Volvo were like, fuck that, here's a 2 litre with a turbo and a supercharger. This is how you do it, fucking German dickheads. Um, so yeah, like that was fucking cool. I've actually driven a a, a T6 V60, which was twin charged, and holy fuck, it was prodigiously fast. Like I was fucking dumbstruck when I learned that it was only a 2 litre. I thought it was like a 3 litre turbo. It was so civilized, like it was just fucking power everywhere. I was like, this could even be a fucking V8. It might not even be turboed. Like it was just fucking power everywhere. And
Interesting.
there
So
was no,
what year are we talking about for those?
oh fuck, this was like 2017, 2018.
Okay.
The car I drove. And like it, holy fuck, man, it was unbelievable. Like I genuinely was fucking amazed to learn that it was a 2 litre. I was like, the fuck is going on here? Like that thing's fucking rapid. And yeah, like fucking got into the guts of it, and I was like, oh, there's a supercharger in there, and there's a fucking turbo. I was like, that's why this was so fucking fast. But it didn't feel like there wasn't like a massive big changeover or anything like that. It was so fucking seamless. Like
Yeah,
it
you
was
didn't feel like a
genuinely
noticeable jump between supercharger and when the turbo came on.
no, absolutely not. Like it just did the job so fucking well. Um, yeah, like it just fucking was. I cannot fucking sing its praises enough. Um, yeah, so that's like the kind of the all my design stuff. Like I had a bit on turbos, but I think it's a bit bollocksy. So it's
Right.
kind of like just like both brands had used forced induction like to deliver performance, and they went smaller engines. Like you don't really see either of them with like big V8s or anything like that. They're always like sort of 3 litre straight sixes. I mean, I know Volvo did a 4.4 litre V8, but still
Was that for their S80?
S80 and the XC90 had it as well.
Yeah.
But like they were pretty rare, you know. Like they definitely had a bias towards like having a smaller displacement engine with less cylinders and a turbo. And like it makes fucking sense. Like you get better fuel economy, you get more mid-range torque. It's like fucking yes. Like it just makes sense. Um, but they were always quite subtle as well. Like none of their even their fast models, I mean, with the exception of like the Larry paint jobs, they were never like fucking screaming about it. They were always sleepers, you know?
Certainly, Volvo is a very understated choice. Even if you buy like a fairly normal ish kind of Volvo, like if you bought like an S60 instead of a 5 Series, or an 80 instead of an 8 or an A8,
Yeah. Like
like it was definitely a strange choice.
and you would always I always kind of felt you got like a nod of approval from like-minded people.
Certainly, you'd probably get like a little wave from other Volvo drivers of the same type on the road.
Yeah, like do you know the RX-8 had a bit of this, eh?
I remember you saying about that. I've never
Like
driven a car where other cars have acknowledged me.
other RX-8s would like actively like wave at you and shit. You know, they'd be like, "Oh, another RX-8," but they were quite rare. Even like, well, when I had mine, they were actually getting rarer at that point. Um,
No, to be fair, they're always fairly uncommon. Like maybe more common online as for sale than on the road being driven about.
yes, I would say that is very fair.
That's an interesting metric to assess cars on. Is like, do I see more on the roads or more for sale?
Well, if you apply that to the Volvos we're talking about now, they're pretty middle of the road. You know, there's not like a massive amount of them that are like there's fucking none. Like they're all kind of. I would say there's probably as many on the road as I see for sale.
Yeah, I definitely do still see a lot of Volvos kicking about. Older Volvos as well. Like the early 2000s Volvos, basically in the rust spectrum. Still see a fair few of them going.
Oh yeah, definitely. They don't tend to rust either. You know, they're like usually reasonably fucking solid. Like when you get them, they're like never fucked or anything like that. But yeah, man. So what's our kind of finishing thoughts on the Volvo Saab?
Which one do you prefer? That's my real question. If you were gonna have one, what company would you go with? Saab or Volvo?
Oh, so I would definitely have a Saab 95 Aero, the 2.3 turbo manual, in an estate. I think that'd be an amazing car for the price point. But if I could have anything, I would want a V60 Polestar Volvo. Like
Fair.
that right there is the fucking one I would have. The estate, the 2 litre twin charged one with all wheel drive. That's what I would have.
Fair enough. You mentioned the 93 Aero.
Yeah.
You know the excuse me. You know the alloys on that
Yes.
car, the big three spokes with the smaller three spokes in between.
Uh-huh.
I really like those. I think they're great.
They're a cool wheel.
Yeah, I'm a really big fan of those wheels. Like, I think wheels are one of those things for me that I'm not a massive fan of a lot of the manufacturer ones. They typically like I don't like diamond cut stuff. There's a lot of like stupid wheel designs on cars, I think.
Yeah.
But I really like those ones on the old Saabs.
They are really nice. Do you know, they're actually, as a design, I struggle to think of anything apart from like what we were saying before, like the V40. I struggle to think of any design that I don't like from them.
Yeah,
Possibly
they're
like
quite
the
safe.
940 and Volvos and stuff like that, and the 740s. I don't think they're all that in a bag of chips.
Oh,
But
the
like,
really, really square ones. Like,
yeah,
massive.
man,
They were huge cars as well.
they were colossal.
Absolutely.
But they were also really fucking cool. But I don't think, like, aesthetically, they're all that in a bag of chips. But I have to say, they are fucking cool
It's like
still.
driving around in a brutalist building.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, genuinely.
This
Do you
is
know what? 940s, I do not see very many 940s kicking about.
no, they are fucking rare. So they are.
I mean, I suppose they've all been converted into flats.
Well, that's part of the problem. Yeah, barn conversions are quite popular with them.
Absolutely. I think for me, I would probably be Volvo over Saab. To be fair, I've never owned a Saab. Owned one Volvo, wasn't a big fan, but I still think in general, I'm more of a Volvo guy over Saab.
That is absolutely fair.
Like, I like the big
Absolutely.
brick. I would totally have a 940. Probably not for very long. I'd get my enjoyment out of it, and then I would like move on. But
Yeah.
it would be amusing trying to find like places big and long enough to park it.
Just parking the SS Titanic in here.
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe I would get a ship's wheel for it.
Yeah.
Was it not a 940 that they did the first ever Top Gear cheap car challenge, like cars for £100?
Yeah,
Really,
I'm
really
pretty
long time
sure
ago. I think it was a 940 saloon that Clarkson bought.
it would have been. And it was probably the 2.3 turbo one as well.
That's wild. I can't believe you used to be able to get a car that had an MOT for £100.
My first car only cost me 100 quid.
That's absolutely wild, man.
I bought it out of a quarry with an MOT on it for 100 quid.
Out of a quarry? What?
Yeah, man, I shit you not, it came out of a quarry.
I mean, was it sold at a quarry, or it was literally uncovered? Like, they were quarrying for, like, I don't know, aggregate, and they found a what,
No, no, no,
A Mark
it was
Five Escort.
it was sold out of a quarry, but yeah. I've just sent you three absolutely incredible Volvos for sale, by the way.
Oh
Um,
no.
but yeah, I think before we digress into discussing cars for sale that no one else can see, I think we'll chaperone the Ed.
Yes, shall we wrap this up?
I think
This
so,
has been
dude.
good. I think the only thing we didn't really talk about is motorsport too
Yeah.
excessively. Do you have
So
any? Do you have any motorsport facts for me? Because we all know, like, obviously the 850 was in BTCC in '90s.
yeah, so you know the S60 um, was campaigned as a touring car in the World Touring Car Championship for a while, and Polestar actually made a mid-engine version for that.
Was there not a V8 Volvo where they raced in Australia?
There was the V8 in the V8 supercar series as well.
That was totally it. Yeah. So Volvo did make a V8. They made a motorsport V8.
I believe they did. They also made a road-going V8, but I can't remember. As far as I'm aware, it was only available in the S80 and the XC90.
Mm.
But I did kind of stay away from the motorsport side of it because there's quite a lot to like. When I started adding the design and stuff and that, and I was like, "Fuck, this could end up being a really long episode when we get talking about this." But I suppose we could do a part two.
We could do a part two. I mean, remember we had that episode where we talked about liveries that we really liked.
Yes.
I quite like the Valvoline Volvo Super V8 like V8 supercar.
Oh, now you're talking.
It's a
Yeah,
nice
that's
color.
cool.
It's pretty cool. I wonder what it was
Yeah,
based on. It looks like it was based on an S60.
yeah, it would have been. The S60 got fucking massacred into different things. Like I said, like Polestar even had a mid-engine version for touring cars.
Aye, that's wild, yeah. Was that mid-engine as in the front, it was just mounted quite far back at the front?
No, it was legitimately mid-engined.
It was
Like
actual proper mid-engine.
they altered the entirety of the car. Like Polestar are fucking amazing as an engineering company. It's a travesty that they've now been turned into an electric car company. Put it that way.
Yeah, yeah. I watched one of my neighbours get a Polestar delivery, actually. It was
I
weird.
have to say,
It came in the back of just a box van.
right?
Yeah, it was just like a large kind of box van. I thought someone was moving, but then it had Polestar written on the side of it. And then the next time I looked out the window, there was a brand new Polestar sitting beside it. And I was like, "Fucking hell! Like that's a big car to fit in that truck, in that van."
I will say this: they're probably the nicest looking electric car on the road.
I quite like the shape of the Polestar, the first
Like,
one. Yeah.
see if they came with a fucking great V8 in them, I'd be sold. They look incredible. It's just the powertrain that I can't get behind.
Yeah, absolutely. They look honestly because they've got such a high like high
Waistline.
side. Yeah, waistline. That's exactly it. Waistline. They make me think they're off road. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, they've got a bit of a muscle car-esque look to them.
They do. It makes me think. Oh, that car could probably do with just some chunky tires, and it would be like it would look more suited to the overall shape of the car.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I think on that note, we'll call it a night, dude.
Yep. Okay then. Happy to wrap it up.
Smashing. Well, I've been Colin Wood, and with me has been.
Thomas.
And if you've liked what you've heard today, us warbling shite about the latest and greatest from the Swede Speed icons of Saab and Volvo, give us a like, a share, and a subscribe, and yeah, leave us a 5-star review. Minimum, no more, no less than 5, and if it's 10, no less than 10. Okay, been told. Toodaloo, folks.
Thank you for listening. Bye.
Toodaloo.